nice to see you again. Looking forward to another adventure. Deborah, glad to see you. Come on in. All right, so guys, it's 4:34. Let's go ahead and get started. Um, My name's Gary Ugart. For those of you who are brand new or lurking on the sidelines, wondering what the heck you're gotten yourself involved in, I run the Rocky Mountain Ukulele. I don't run it; it runs me. The Rocky Mountain Ukulele Orchestra. I started it, and now it's in charge of me. And lots of the people over here, I guess your list is over here. Are members of that, or people that know me from Denver, and then lots and lots and lots of you are logging in from around the country, different states. We've had people in from Canada and Europe and Australia yesterday, so getting lots of people in who are interested in trying ukulele. Either just for something to do during this weird time, or trying to get to next level playing, right? And I will be honest with you, I let stuff come out of my mouth. I don't plan. My lesson plans are very sketchy. I mean, you pretty much have what I have on the lesson plan. So if I say something that doesn't make any sense, please don't hesitate to send me an email. If I say something that annoys you, go ahead and send me an email, but it's not really planned or meant to be an annoyance. It's just that's who I am. Mike, welcome in. Chris, glad to see you again. Mostly this is an hour where we can spend just getting our heads into a different space and maybe working on something that all of us have been working on for a while, which is learning to make beautiful music with this little guy. My passion for this instrument is boundless. I'm not one of those dorky ukulele players like you run into somewhere where they think this is the greatest thing ever invented. But I do love this instrument. I do think that it has so many wonderful things about it. And the most impressive thing about this instrument is its ability to bring us together as a community and say, hey, none of us are very good players, but we got a kind of cool instrument. We'd like to get a little better and have a little bit of fun, and then just enjoy making some music. And this thing is the perfect solution for so many things. And so I'm just delighted all of you guys are here. Let's see who else logged in here. Mike has today. All right, John, welcome. Jerry, hi. Oh, hi, John. Happy Monday, Barbara. Linda, logging in. How exciting! Wait a second, Gary. Of course, you think that the ukulele is not the greatest thing ever. Sorry, I shouldn't say that around you guys. This is the greatest thing ever. Oh my God, it's the ukulele. I always wonder, when I started ukulele, I was desperately combing what little bit the internet existed at that point for anything to do on ukulele, and I always wondered, were people on saxophones and tubas and doing the same thing? Were they busy scouring every square inch of the internet looking for stuff to help them learn to play? I kind of doubt it. I kind of think ukulele players are unique, that we're just desperate for the next thing and the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. Hey, Patty, welcome in. Jerry. All right, let's get started. Here's the instrument we're going to be working on. Today we have really three things I want to do. Number one, I want to play Brahms' Lullaby. If you're brand new to playing this style of music, it'll kick your butt. And if you've been playing for a while, I would love to hear you play Tuff acts like So Beautiful That Your Baby Instantly Falls Asleep. Remember, we are playing Brahms. It is legit classical music. And you should feel super, super stoked that that's the level you're working at. Next thing that we will be playing is my key of F Arpeggiator. This week we're going to dive into the key of F pretty heavily. The main idea with the key of F, the reason why it's important, is it fits onto the ukulele really well. It's one of those keys on the ukulele that just absolutely just drops in here. So many of the songs that just work well on this instrument are in the key of F. It's just the way that the notes are set up on the fretboard and that sort of thing. So the key of F is very important. The bummer part of key of F is it comes along with this little guy called B flat, and we're going to talk about your strategies and your ways to deal with that. The correct strategy is the opposite of what the internet tells you. The internet says, how in the world can I go about playing songs without playing B flat? What I want you to do is to stop trying to not play things and start trying to just figure out how to play everything. And that's what I do with all of my students, and is say, you know what, this is making music at this level is hard. Let's figure out how to do it. And sometimes we have to cheat, but most of the time we can actually just learn to make the music. Let's see. Next thing. And then the last thing is, Aaron. I don't know if you have logged in, but yesterday during yesterday's lesson, I talked and blah 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 as I'm wont to do, and then she was probably sitting in the back row going, play the Bach, play the Bach, play the Bach. I want to play Bach. Let's play Bach. Let's play Bach. So we only played through it one time yesterday. We're probably only going to play through it one time more today. But I thought, heck, we put in a lot of effort and time on that last week, and so let's play Bach again, right? We'll play. Maybe I don't know. Maybe play. It depends on how it goes. The problem, you guys, it puts a lot of pressure on me to play it perfectly, and I have not spent the amount of time necessary on this piece, 5 pages of it, to play it perfectly for you. So as you know, I'm going to make a ton of mistakes. And this is a great time to talk about that. I make a ton of mistakes when I play because I'm not a professional performer. If I was a professional performer and I made that many mistakes, that would not be good, and I would need to be going back and sitting down there. What I mostly do is write music and teach music, and you're the ones who are supposed to be the professional performers. You're the ones who are supposed to get this stuff perfect. And so if you can tolerate me playing this, that's great. Hopefully it gives you some ideas of what to do and what not to do. And then you're supposed to go home and work like heck on it until you play it perfectly. And then you sit your cell phone right in front of you, push record on a video, record yourself playing this piece perfectly, and then Dropbox it to me. And I will give you extra credit for doing that. And so if you're ready, if you're at that level where you're like, Gary can't play a lick, let's have you do it. Okay. Otherwise, if you're in the same group as most of us, which is, gosh, I'm just trying to get it close before I start my next piece, then you got the right guy. I'm that guy. All right, let's dig into the Brahms Lullaby today. Who else logged in? Let's see. Hi everyone from. Oh yeah, hey Vicky, Blaine from Bozeman. That's the life. We're gonna just count that as Canada. So she's our Canadian representative today. All right, Brahms Lullaby. On the Jolly Roger Ukulele website, there's the main front page is where you're going to get the link to log in here and to get today's resources and that stuff. But don't miss going over to the Ukulele tab. That has everything in order in a sequential manner as to what I like to teach to all new players. So first thing is Frere Jacques, and then the second thing is I don't remember what. I think it's, and then the third thing is the key of A, the little booklet, and so on. So it's designed in an order of your increasing skill set, so that by the time you get down to the bottom and you're dealing with Scarborough Fair, you're like, I'm still fighting it, but I'm getting pretty good. I at least understand what I'm doing. With Brahms Lullaby, it's about day 4 or so of my typical class, where you're actually playing well, you're understanding everything on the sheet music, and that's what we're going to be working on here for the first little bit. Then we're going to dig into key of F, and then we're going to play Bach once or twice or 50 times, whatever amount of time is left over. Basically, we're going to try to avoid the world for about 45 minutes here and be happy. Let's talk about Brahms Lullaby. It is set up with 3 chords that hopefully, as most ukulele players who have wandered in and are at your level, are probably getting pretty comfortable with. First chord, key is a C chord, ring finger, make sure it's your ring finger, first string, 3rd fret. Okay, that's a C chord, should be your home planet. Let's hear it. Okay, again. Gorgeous. When you are strumming a ukulele, we usually strum up here. You can use your thumb going down, or you can use your index finger with your the face of your fingernail going down and your pad coming back up. Just make sure that the pad of your fingernail is facing the ground and not facing up here. Your fingers will get stuck if it's facing there. Okay. Those of you next level players, you are going to be working on either a 4-finger plucking this. Okay. Or you're going to be thinking about arpeggios. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's what you're chord. You've got G7 and you got F, and those are a part of who you are as a player. Then you don't need to focus on that. You got to focus in on your right hand skills. Let's go through and sing this. Those of you who haven't been here before should know that I am a terrible singer, and that's why I play instrumentally. But we're just working on the chords right now, and so you'll be tolerant. That's our first note. I've been told, Kathy would help me out a ton. She says, find your first note, la, and then you will probably have a better shot at singing a little bit better. All right. song is in 3/4. All you need to know about that 3 is very important to your life. That 4 is meaningless to your life. So what you want to do is just know we're playing in 3. That means there's 3 beats in every measure, and the measures are noted, divided up by those vertical lines along there. This song starts at measure 1, la la, and then measure 2, bye and good night, and so on. And that's how we're going to go. Grab your chords. Any way you want to chord with me is absolutely beautiful. 1, 2. Oh, hold on. Let me get my note. La, there it is. 1, 2. Lullaby and good night. With roses bedight, with lilies bespread, his babies we bed. Lay you down now and rest. May your slumbers be blessed. Lay you down now and rest. May your slumbers be blessed. Again, lullaby and good night. Thy mother's delight. Ba-da-bum, ba-da-ba-da-bum, bum, bye. I will watch as you sleep. May your dreams be so sweet. I will watch as you sleep. May your slumber dum bum. Okay. So I switched my pattern in the middle to do an arpeggio. I was pretty ineffective at it, but I think it would actually sound beautiful. And of course, I don't know the words to the second verse. So I'm just when you don't know, right? Those of you who are not singers, you know, we just go and pretend that we're singing, and that's legit. That's absolute. That's not cheating. That's just adding harmony. All right, that's how the chords go. Hopefully C, G7, and F are chords that are part of your DNA as a ukulele player. If they're not yet, that's the area you're working on, right? Just play, go grab the MP3 off of the website and just play along to that, dun, 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 until switching those chords becomes very effective for you. What I notice is in this song, we're going from C quite often over to G7, and just make sure you get your index finger planted first, and then G7 pops on. So C to G7, C to G7. Occasionally you're going C to F, right? C to F, same story. Get your index finger planted and then put that up there. That becomes your F. And then F back to C, of course. That's not terribly difficult. And that's sort of the main chord progressions that go on in there. And so when you are trying to become a faster chord player, and many of you are always thinking about, don't try to play the song, try to play the technique from chord to chord. So I don't care what the song is. I just know that I got to get my index finger here to get to my G7. Okay, da, 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 whatever that is, right? Or if I'm on C and I got to get to F, okay, those are the motions that I'm going to be required to pull off during whatever song this is. And so I spend a little bit of time just making sure my chord changes are going to make sense, really micromanaging my fingers and making sure that index finger gets planted first, and then the other ones will pop on. All right, those are your chords. Now, melody players, if you're brand new and you haven't played from tablature, definitely go back and check out some of our previous videos from well, I think basically all last week were sort of the more introductory stuff. So I'm going to make a brash assumption that you're reading the tablature fine. And so if you are a tablature player, I want you to just play the ukulele melody line. If you are not a tablature player and you're like, I don't know what the heck he's talking about, just go ahead and strum with me. Okay, be my backup band. Let's go through it twice, just the ukulele line. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's in 3. Let me count in 2, and then we're going to go. 1, 2. Oh, oh, 3. Oh, oh, 3. Oh, 3, 3. 2. Oh, 3, 2. 2, oh, 1. 2. 2, oh, 1. 2, 3, 2, 3. Oh, oh, 3. Oh, 1, 3. Oh, oh, 1, 3. Oh, 3. Oh, oh, 3. Oh, 1, 3. Oh, oh, 1. Oh, 2. Oh, let's do it again. Oh, oh, 3. Oh, oh, 3. Oh, 3, 3, 2. Oh, oh, 3, 2. Oh, 1, 2, 2. Oh, 1. 2, 1, 2, oh, 3, 2, 3. Oh, oh, 3. Oh, 1, 3. Oh, oh, 1, 3. Oh, 3. Oh, oh, 3. Oh, 1, 3. Oh, oh, 1. Oh, 2. Oh. Let your ukulele ring all the way out. Nice little tune, really great melody, and you're playing classical music, so that means you're better than everybody else. Couple of thoughts I had as we were going through this, making sure that I had used my ring finger for all threes and my middle finger for all twos. And then we do have a handful of ones that show up. Those are your index finger. Okay. And don't do anything else. The entire song is set up ones, twos, threes, and that's it, right? So don't be creative with your index finger jumping all around. It just creates excess motion. We don't want to do that. The other thing that I was mindful of is my thumb needs to be back here behind this neck so that I'm not doing this. I'm going to make my life harder down the road. I talk about it on every single lesson. If you can get your thumb in the right place, you're going to make your life way easier down the road. I know there's lots of pretty little girls giving YouTube lessons and about on much cooler songs than I use apparently, and their thumbs here. Okay, that's just nobody's ever told them to stop doing that, and they're making their life and your life harder. So fix your thumb, and everything else is going to be easier down the road. Okay, last piece of this puzzle, we're going to play the Tuff uke. For those of you who are new to us, it's a good point just to sit and watch and see what's going on. If you are been with me the last few weeks, then this is going to make perfect sense for you. We only have one moment that it's kind of difficult, and by only one moment, I mean every single moment is difficult. This is probably the most difficult. You're going to have this F chord show up, but you're going to have your pinky up here on the first fret of first string, third fret. Okay, and it's 2, 0, 1, 3. Okay, that's going to show up as one of the moments that you need to play. Now, technically, we would use our ring finger there if we're following all of the rules that Gary lays down. We would want to use our ring finger there, but after many years of blowing it, I switched to my pinky finger, and I haven't blown it since. So I would recommend using your pinky when you get to that 2, 0, 1, 3. It's sitting there at measure 10, and then it shows back up at 14. Those are going to be moments where you just want to be ready to get your pinky down. I think it'll be smoother for you. Okay, from the top, this is how you want to play. We're going to play through it twice. Remember, when we get into measure 17 and we go back to the top, we've done the first repeat. So the second time we come around, we skip measure 17 and finish up on 18. This is your moment, those of you Tuff ukers. Okay. Again, if you are Tuff uke and you're like, yeah, I totally got this. I don't even know why he wastes my time on it. You are not going to be a thumb downer. You're going to be a multiple finger over here. And on a couple of moments when you've got a half note with nothing following, toss in a couple of little decorative notes just for fun. Make it pretty. Make it finger style. Okay. Here we go. From the top, get your first chord on. 1, 2. Oh, oh, strum. Oh, oh, strum. Oh, 3, strum. 2, strum. I have completely blown it. Let me start from the beginning. Holy mackerel, I just blew it. All right, from the top. Sorry, guys. 1, 2. Oh, oh, strum. Oh, oh, strum. Oh, 3, strum. 2. Oh, strum. 3. 2. Oh, strum. 2. 2. Oh, strum. 2, 1, strum. hold your chord until the ukulele stops singing out. It's a pretty tune, you guys. What do you think? How'd you do? Thumbs up? Thumbs down? Let's see who logged in here. I saw some stuff going on. No apologies. I know, right? I tell my students all the time, don't say you're sorry. And then, of course, I'm the first one to say it. 75% cowboy. Oh, okay. Let's see. Um, Yay, uke time again. Hi, Bob. Good to see you. All right, so that's Brahms Lullaby. Hopefully, it's, whatever level you're playing at makes sense for you. If you're a singer and you want to strum and sing the chords, there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. It's a beautiful tune. And anytime you get to sing the word badite, you know you're dealing with some legit music. Then the next level is that I want everybody to get to is playing that ukulele melody line. Remember, if you have a friend, you don't because you're a ukulele player, but if you make a friend accidentally somewhere down the road and they have a ukulele, get together. You play the melody, they play the chords, and then you have wine, and it's the perfect setup for living a quality life. But for most of us, since we don't get along with people, we play the Tuff uke, which is that solo line. When we're here in group, obviously you're trying to play that with me, and that's the idea. But the real goal for Tuff uke is it's a solo arrangement, and my big goal with that is, hey, let's play ukulele. Let's have the ukulele do everything, and I'm going to be completely in charge. If I need to speed up or slow down just a little bit, I'm going to do that, right? So it's really meant for solo play, and that's basically it. Let's see, a couple of questions here. Leslie, not too bad. Yay, Leslie, right on. I'm playing a baritone, and I got the C and the G7 chords, but needed to find an F position that goes with high C. So on baritone, your F chord is a B flat on ukulele. Okay, so either a full bar with the A position in front of it, or a half bar with that, and that's your baritone chords. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question, Tanya. Yeah, the Tuff uke is really fun, Leslie, and that's ultimately, as musicians, we want to play with other people. Of course, that's what makes music fun, is getting together and jamming it out. That's the main thing I do here in Denver, is just try to get people that'll show up to come play some music. When I say it's my main job, it's one of my jobs. And what I love about that is that with Tuff uke, you have the choice. If you are a really fine player on this particular song, you're like, hey, let's get together. Somebody can play Tuff uke. Somebody can play the straight line melody. Somebody can play the chords. Somebody can turn the chords into arpeggios. You take the music, break it up into all these different sections and all these different ways of playing it. And pretty soon, even if there's only 3 or 4 of you, you got a pretty fine orchestration. Those of you guys who are teachers, and I know we're getting lots of teachers logging in going, I don't know what the heck's happened to my career. But that's how I would approach this from the classroom. Everybody in the classroom would get exactly the same sheet of paper, and then I would have groups within the classroom. Hey, you guys are the chord people. You guys are the melody people. You guys, the 3 kids who are just all that, they can play Tuff uke. Divide it up. There's always the kid who's having a bad day, right? This is a lovely drum. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So you can get all of these different types of ways of playing ukulele, either separately or put them all together and see what happens. It's always a lot of fun. Yeah, awesome, Leslie. All right. Now, very quick mention about baritone. Some of you guys are interested in baritone. I think that I am probably the person in the United States taking baritone the most seriously of anybody, probably. I don't hear a lot of baritone stuff going on out there. I am gaga for baritone because I think that it combines the best of this instrument, which I love, with that nice, deeper resonant sound of guitar without all of the nonsense and difficulty that goes along with guitar. And so it's a nice intermediate type instrument that you can absolutely play. I have several players that's their instrument. That's exactly what they do. They only play baritone, and it's a lovely, lovely instrument. And so if you have interest in that, toss me an email. I know Melody, who is in here today, asked for one of the songs earlier this week, and I took some time to baritone it up for her. And I don't necessarily have every single song set up for baritone, but if you ask, I probably can do it for you. And so just let me know if there's some song that you've got that you've seen over the last few weeks that you'd like to have baritonified. If you're playing by yourself, you don't need to baritonify anything. You can just absolutely play the sheet music that I hand out. Just know that your chord names are different and that the standard notation is incorrect. But the tablature works just fine on those things. So no reason why you would even need to necessarily get other music if you were playing baritone. All right. Brahms Lullaby. That's one worth mastering. That's absolutely a beautiful piece. All right, let's now move on to the next level. Many of you guys have been here last couple weeks, and you're like, "Yep, this is no big deal." For those of you who are newer, this is a huge deal. Okay, this is going to be pretty rough on you. What we're going to be working on is the key of F and talking about various chord shapes within the key of F, and then we're going to play the key of F major arpeggio, and in my book, which you can download, it's there sitting on the ukulele page. Oh no, it might be in the teacher page. Go over to the teacher page and click on the arpeggio book. It'll download the entire book, and it'll download also all of the sound files for the book. I might be a tiny bit biased because I wrote it many years ago, but it is now, it was then, and I think that it will be for a long time one of the very, very best books out there to get you from being an ordinary, regular old ukulele player to a high-level ukulele player. It takes every key, takes every musical thought that I could possibly dream up at the time and stuff it into one book. And so when you're out buying your Beatles book, you're going to get, oh blah dee, oh blah da. When you go, and I'm teasing. I got a couple of Beatles people here. I like to pick on it. I got to pick on the Beatles at least once a week. But this book just makes you turn off your face and makes you really learn how to run your right hand properly on ukulele, and that will separate you not only from your other players, but will turn you into a real musician, right? More than just a ukulele player, but somebody who's really mindful and thoughtful about quality tone, how do chords fit together, how does this all this stuff fit together to create music. And that's what this book does. I'm still convinced that if you want to be an advanced player, you should just take this book and just do work on this entirely. I have half a dozen-ish advanced students, and all of them, this is what they play from. This is what they're interested in, because it teaches you those complex skills like that we would love to have as a stringed instrument player. So that's the sales pitch on that. It's free. It's on I think it's on the teacher tab of the Jolly Roger ukulele site. You should download it. You should give it to all of your friends. You should give it to every ukulele player you've ever met and say, do you know about this book? We should do this book. This book is going to make us good players, and I promise it will. Let's talk about the key of F major. On this page, every single moment you should be grabbing the full chord. Okay, so measure 1, you grab the full chord, F, right? Hopefully that's a thing for you at this point. Index finger here, middle finger there, thumb back down out of the way, right behind where the middle finger's hanging out. Okay, that's what we're playing. Instead of strumming, which it looks like you should do, in this case you're going to pluck all 4. And when we pluck, we can't pluck up here because the fretboard gets in the way. We got to go down over the hole. We got to feel like guitar players. Oh, I want to play over the hole, right? Okay, that's your first motion. Next is 2-0-1. That's your thumb, index, middle. And then you've got 2 F chords in a row. Now you're going to switch to the D minor chord at measure 3. Plunk, thumb, index, middle, plunk, plunk. Now we're going to do B flat. We're going to talk about B flat in just a minute. Put on B flat any way you can. I'm going to play it the way your sound is probably going to sound. What you're probably going to do is, okay, that's probably what your B flat's going to sound like. Anybody? Come on. Okay. Those of you who've been playing a long time, yours sounds like. Okay. Let's pause very briefly. If your B flat, if you've got it on and it sounds like this, that is how your B flat sounds right now. That is fine. I promise you'll lose a lot of sleep over the fact that you can't play B flat before you can play B flat. Don't be that person. Just play it however it comes out of your instrument. Know there comes a day when all of a sudden it just jumps out of your ukulele. In the meantime, play it crummy. Right? Whatever comes out. We've talked to a few ukulele players over the last 20 years. B flat's hard, okay, and it's much harder here than it is up here, right? And so you'll find out that this is actually one of the harder chords you're going to have to tackle as a ukulele player. Just let it be hard, okay? All right, let's do measure 5. 1, 2, ready, play. 6. And then to be very mindful, this is your new C chord. We're going to take this shape, slide it up 2 frets to 2 on C, here and here. If you're using a full bar, that's perfectly good. It's probably better. Slide it up to the 3rd fret. So don't lift everybody off. Go up here and rethink it. Just go grab have your B flat on, slide it up to the 3rd fret, and then you're going to play from there. Okay, let's play measure 7. Measure 9, you go back to the F chord, but the pattern changes. Now you're going to play a pluck, and then you're going to do middle, index, thumb. So measure 9, ready, play. D minor. B flat. Slide up to C. That's what we want to hear, okay? So if you're fighting B flat, you should fight B flat. We all fought B flat. If you don't fight B flat, we'll feel like we got gypped and we won't like you. So we want you to fight B flat for a little while, and then one day comes in perfectly. Not only that, but we're then going to slide it up 2 frets to get a new C chord. Those of you who are brand new, you want this to be your only C chord, but just know that this C chord is now a part of your wheelhouse, and this C chord is actually a lot more useful than this C chord. This C chord's horrible. This is lovely, right? But this one's better. Not better. More important. Not more important. It's a good C chord. All right. Let's see. Now, here's where things get a little messy, right? It looks messy, but it's not as bad as it looks on paper. Hi, Bonnie. Jolly Roger Ukulele. There's where the resources are. We're playing the key of F major right now, the F major arpeggio. Okay, and we are at measure 17 of that. Notice that on the bar chord at measure 17, prior to this in the song, you've been playing this D minor, index, middle, and ring. It's just an F chord with your ring finger in it. That's our normal D minor. Okay. Now you're going to take your bar up to 5 and add your ring finger up on the top string, 7th fret. Okay. That's a different D minor. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. This particular shape is going to come up a lot when you're an instrumental ukulele player, and so it's one of those you want to master. Okay, and again, you may be making this sound. Okay, that's a perfectly fine way to play a D minor right now. Okay, one day it comes in. You got to develop this muscle right here. That's the one you're working on. Okay, all right. The next little section, we're going to play this D minor. Let me see if I can get my other finger out of the way. I'll just set it up on top here. Okay, so this is our D minor. And then we're going to take our middle finger and we're going to drop it in on the 2nd string, 6th fret, but we're going to leave this finger up there. Okay, so then that's a B flat. So you've got this B flat, and now you have learned this B flat. Okay, and both of those B flats are going to come up in your life plenty if you stick with ukulele. Okay, if you don't, it will never come up. But if you stick with this B flat and this B flat are going to come up all of the time. So let's get comfy with that. All it is an F shape, and then we slide it up. F sharp, G, G sharp, A, B flat, okay, or A sharp. Okay, so that's what we're doing there. In this particular section, measure 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21, we're going to be, now we're not strumming it yet, okay? The sheet music says pluck, so let's do it. First do your D, go to measure 17, do your D minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. Add your ring finger right there, 2nd string. 1, 2, 3, and that's your ring finger, your middle finger. Let's do guru again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. B flat. 2, 3, 4. Last time. D minor. 2, 3, 4. Then B flat. 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then when we go on to page 2, we just got to jump back to the C chord. Here's something fun you can try. Just slide back 2 and lift your middle finger up 1 string. Okay. So if you're hanging out on this B flat, slide it back, lift up 1, and there's a C chord. And there's that fancy C chord that's built off of the B flat shape. Okay, so let's play measure 23 at the C chord. Ready, play. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. Measure 24 has those little wiggly glissandos on that. That means you're going to strum down. Okay, so measure 24, get your F chord on and strum down. Now we have some just straight melody. 1, 1, 3, 0, 1, 1, 3, 1, 2, 2, 1, 0. Strum, strum. 1, 1, 3, 0. B flat shape. Strum, oh, oh. Now we're going to pluck again. Pluck, 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 pluck. When we play this in a minute, at 32, that's a repeat sign. Takes you all the way back to the beginning of the song because there's no forward repeat anywhere on the paper. So when you hit 32, we're going to go all the way back to number 1. Okay? Then we're going to play the whole thing again. When we get to measure 33, let's just do some lovely arpeggio picking. Okay, so you're going to have your F chord on here, and let's use the top upper strings. By the way, if you have strung up low G, this stuff works just fine. Just read the tablature and don't overly rely on the standard notation because the standard notation is set up for high G in this situation. I wrote this on a high G ukulele. I think that it creates some interesting arpeggio patterns and some interesting melody accidentally. It doesn't sound quite as good on a low G, but it'll work. Okay, let's go with measure 33. 1, 2, ready, play. Thumb, index, middle, index, thumb, index. Now switch to your regular D minor. Thumb, index, middle, index, thumb, index. Go ahead and switch to B flat. Thumb, index, middle, index, thumb, index, middle, index. Plucks. C, 2, 3, 4, F, D minor, B flat, C, F, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's what we're going to do. All right, get your game face on. Let's see how we do. If you're brand new to this and you're like, I have no idea what he's just talking about, strum the chords. Strum the chords. It'll absolutely be fine. Okay, we're going to play the whole song as written. Should take us about 2 minutes. Right? From the very top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to the top of the song and measure 3. Measure 5. Measure 9. Measure 17. 23. 25. 34. Measure 37. Let your ukulele completely ring out before you take the cord off. And there you have it. Dr. Uke has lots of baritone. Good for Dr. Uke. Heck yeah. Awesome. Hopefully that's helpful, right? I forgot about Dr. Uke. He does have some baritone up there, doesn't he? Good for him. I wonder if he's doing more than I am. Key of F major. These are much tougher chords than in the C key of C major. Obviously, our job is to push you up. Okay, so spend today working on that. I may play it once or twice more this week, just so that you use that as an opportunity to build your chord strength, and those particular chords are going to come up in your ukulele life. One of the things I think is important as an advancing ukulele player is to really be digging into bar chords, because at the end of the day, when you are really needing to go all the way up the fretboard and you're doing all these much more complex melodies, you really are going to have bar chords as part of that. And so, yeah, when you first start them, they sound terrible, and as we get better at them, they eventually sound better. I would say that there is no day when I play all my bar chords perfectly, and so I just think it's one of those things that we want to work on a lot. The books in the arpeggio, or the songs in the arpeggio book, are really meant for you to be used as warm-up. Play through them a couple of times when you first sit down, get your fingers warmed up and be like, oh, that kind of hurts. And then after that, then play your regular rehearsal stuff that you're working on. For some of you, that's going to be just getting used to reading tablature. For a few of you, it's working on changing your chords correctly. For a few of you, you're creating your final repertoire for your first gig up at Red Rocks. And what we want to do is find your level and be working first is warm-up stuff, which is your etudes. These are those arpeggios, I think, and then work on whatever is hard that you're working on. And then never forget, when you wrap up your rehearsal time, your practice time, play something that's just beautiful and easy and below your ability, right? And that's one thing I never did when I was taking piano lessons. I always just was hard. Everything was hard. And I was very going to just power my way through to becoming a concert pianist. And none of that happened because it's just not, it's not in me. But what I do think I could have done myself a huge favor was having a few songs that were just fun to play. And right now when I sit down, there's a piano unsupervised, I'll go sit down and play 2 or 3 of my little ditties that I do have memorized, and that brings me more joy than all those years of Beethoven and Bach and all that. So just be mindful that you're supposed to be having fun while getting better. And so I always say etudes first, serious stuff second, fun stuff to wrap it up. Most of you guys are here are already comfortable with the idea that ukulele should hurt a little bit if you want to get good. All right, let's pull up Bach. Let's pull it up. Let's see how I can play today. Yesterday I didn't do horrible, but I didn't do great either. And so I'd like to play through it one more time with you. And we'll stop at the bottom of each page. Okay, it's 5:19. Oh, we got plenty of time. We got plenty of time. So get your game face on. If you are playing baritone sitting by yourself in your house, you can just play the tablature and it'll sound amazing. If you are playing, not playing Tuff uke yet, and if you're like, that's too hard, play the melody line. If you're just brand new walking in here going, I don't know what the melody line even represents, give us a nice steady 3 count on every measure with 3 beautiful chords. The chords in here are reasonably complex, and so it should be a good workout for you. I did get an email from Elizabeth, and she said, boy, that chord at measure 7 is driving me nuts. And so we dug into it a little bit. We're probably going to change the chord at measure 7 to a D7. I haven't made that final determination yet. but there are lots of stuff. And just looking back through Bach's original, it's not Bach's original piece; it's Christian Piesel's original piece. But just looking at the original text, it's probably better to have a D7. Those of you who are have classical music in your background, you know that Bach and those guys did not stick a chord name up on top of there. So a lot of times we're guessing as to what we're supposed to be doing there. I thought of G. I thought just the way the measure was working, it really felt like a G major to me. But I think examining the original text, we're probably looking at a D7 chord there. So measure 7. You might want to change it to D7. I'm going to do a little bit more work on it tonight, and then if I'm convinced adequately that she's right and that we're probably going to change it. Okay, here we go from the very top. Again, if you're playing Tuff, get your chords on first. If you're playing melody, you're really wanting to be thinking about having this as your home position. When you slide up the fretboard, most of the time you're going to go to 5th position, most of the time in this song. So 5, 6, 7, 8, and then you will reach your pinky up to get those 10s that show up. Probably is how you're going to handle that. That's usually the smartest positional playing thing to be thinking about. And then, of course, if you're new, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I won't be able to play in perfect time. I haven't put enough time in on this piece, but I will be as close as I can. Okay, and I'm going to play it quite a bit slower than it's written. It's written at 120. Probably play it about 80 or so. I am absolutely convinced that if you guys will play slowly, you will improve more quickly. There's 2 things ukulele players do that get in your way. 1, play chords super fast all of the time. You play them real fast till you get to a complicated chord, and then you just stop, take 20 minutes to get that new chord on, and then play super fast. That's absolutely not a musical approach to playing music, period, let alone ukulele. So slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. Really, honestly, play ridiculously slow. If you can play it smoothly and beautifully slow, then you start to pick up your tempo and push your tempo a little bit. I'm giving a young man some Skype lessons up in Washington State, and he played my B flat arpeggio, which is written pretty fast. You're supposed to play it pretty fast, but he decided he was going to see how fast he could play it. So he got all the way up to 200 beats per minute. I mean, his hands were flying over that thing. And so, but he started by playing it slow and getting all that stuff in order first, and then cranking up the tempo a little bit. And so that's how you want to proceed. That's how musicians think is, hey, let's get it at a slow pace. Let's figure out all of the micromanagement things I got to do with my ukulele, and then I can start speeding it up. The other thing that ukulele players do, I don't know, we're just addicted to the next song, whatever it is, we just don't spend enough time on the current song. And you could do yourself a huge favor by throwing out all of your other music and just working on one thing, right? Getting that really good. So that's my advice for becoming a great ukulele player. Henry, my cat, is starting to lurk around here, so at any moment he may come flying through here. Go away. All right. He's not going away. All right, here we go. From the top, nice and slow. We're going to play the whole first page, then we're going to be proud of ourselves, and then we're going to turn the page. Okay, so we'll stop at the bottom of each page. Don't play the 16, but play 17. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I want to play it again because I messed up the beginning pretty good. So from the top of the page, 1, 2, 3. closer. You already have your pages bent and twisted, so you can just turn the page, and off we go on to page 2. Grab your G chord. 1, 2, 3. One more time from the top. Ready, play. Let's go on to page 3. Take a break. Make sure that your body isn't all tensing up. Okay, like mine is. Okay, nice G minor on. We're moving into the minor feeling section. Page 3 from the top. Probably will end up playing it twice because I'm going to blow this page as well. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oops, let me start again. I really messed that up. Measure 39, that keeps coming up and biting me. It's really a B flat shape, and it's on 6, and I don't know why. It's really it's just a G minor higher up here, and I just be aware. If you're like me, I keep blowing it. Okay, from the top again, measure 35. 1, 2, 3. To the top. move on to page 4. Shake it out. Get ready from measure 52, I think is what it is. We're going to the high B flat. Start up there. 1, 2, 3. That was brutal, right? That's the page right there. That's the page that's pretty tough to work on. I would spend more time on that. Page 5, identical to page 1. Let's play it. 1, 2, and just one time through. 1, 2, 3. Okay, there. So we've had twice to play it through. Send me by email. Let me know if you want to do one more day of it. Page 4 for me is where I would be putting my energy. That turns out to be my problem page. And so as a musician, I always am looking for, all right, I page 1, I can hack my way through well enough. But page 4, not good enough, right? So I would spend my day tomorrow working on page 4. Things to wrap up, always the secretarial stuff. JollyRogerUkulele.com has all of the resources. They're all meant to be downloaded. Those of you in communities all across the world, I'm expecting you to steal that stuff and use it in your groups. Teach the stuff so that we can get some people who... Guys, I've been teaching ukulele a long time. I take a poll at every single class and I say, how many of you like to sing? And it's about 20%, right? And so just be aware that you can save a lot of people's musical future by teaching them how to play this without singing. JollyRogerUkulele.com. If you want to learn how to play guitar, come to DenverGuitarOrchestra.com. You don't want to learn how to play guitar. And then send me an email. Let me know what's going on with you so that I can be of assistance to you. I have lots and lots more stuff to go this week. We're going to be digging digging into Tin Pan Alley for the rest of the week. I have 3 really delightful tunes that we're going to work on. And those of you who are newer, go through that list on the ukulele page and make sure those things are making sense for you. Hope you have a wonderful day. Please stay inside. It's just brutal out there. We want to do everything we can to not be one of those people showing up to the hospital. So have a wonderful afternoon, evening, or morning, wherever you happen to be. Thank you all for being here. It's been an absolute delight to work on these every single day. So I'm absolutely delighted you're here. Let's see. Merci, Lindy. Have a wonderful day. I know, Mike, right? It's really the proper sized uke is the correct thing to do. Vicky, I love this Bach. Not good at it all, but definitely my favorite challenge right now. But yeah, I'm not good at it at all either, Vicky. So keep at it. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Good to see you, Tanya. Keep coming back. Love it. Melody, you're welcome. So Renee, have a wonderful day. Jerry, wonderful day. Lynn, have a wonderful day. Page 1 done. Good challenge. Nice job, Bonnie. Gail, you're welcome. Have a wonderful day. Thanks, Red. You guys, I'm going to stop the stream now. Have a wonderful day. Be good and be safe, and I will see you tomorrow.